friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're gonna do the detailed review of the new mid-range smartphone from Huawei in India, the Huawei Y9 2019 variant. So this is the latest offering from Huawei in India after announcing the Nova 3i and the Nova 3 along with we have the Mate 20 Pro announced recently. So this is the least priced offering from Huawei in India, and this is priced 15,999 and comes with quite a decent hardware as well. So in this video we'll talk about the device, how good the device is, the pros and cons, and whether this device is a worthy device in this price segment. So let's get started with the detailed review. First up, let's have a look at the design and build quality of the Huawei Y9 2019 variant. So looking at the front panel, you can see the traditional design with the notch and the display bezels have been reduced, but you can still see that the sides bezels look slightly wider than some of the other smartphones in this price segment. The bottom bezel has been kept to minimal, and you can see the top portion has this notch. Since it has a dual camera setup for the front panel, you don't get the water drop notch. Instead it has a regular notch, but Huawei has made an attempt to make the notch a bit more smaller than some of the other smartphones. So that's the front panel. Now looking at the back panel, so this is one area where the Huawei Y9 looks pretty good. It is made of plastic material. It's not glass, but it actually mimics glass and feels like glass, but it's made of polycarbonate material. And again, you can see that the sides have been given the same finishing, the glossy finishing, which actually feels quite good. And you can also see that the sides have been tapered, which gives it a good in-hand feel. And overall the build quality looks quite okay. You can also see that since it's a plastic material, you can see it attracts a lot of fingerprint on the back panel, and it is definitely a fingerprint magnet. You need to keep on cleaning the device quite often to get a good look. But otherwise the build quality looks quite okay. We would have liked the glass finishing at this price segment, but still this is quite a decent looking smartphone out there. You can see the power and volume keys are on the right side. The bottom panel has the micro USB charging slot, the 3.5mm audio jack, and the speaker unit. The top panel does not have any openings or slots, and the left side has the SIM tray, which is a dedicated SD card as well. So that's the design and build quality. So overall, even though it's a 6.5 inches display, it feels quite compact in hands thanks to the tapered edges and good design as well. Now moving on to the display. So the phone comes with a 6.5 inches full HD plus resolution display, and the display quality actually feels pretty nice. You can see it's vibrant and colorful display, good viewing angles, and colors are also pretty good. The touch response feels quite smooth, and overall quality of the display feels quite okay. But unfortunately there is no protection offered similar to other Huawei mid-range smartphones. Now moving on to the software. So the Huawei Y9 2019 variant comes with EMUI 8.2 on top of Android 8.1. So a phone released in 2019 and still does not have Android Pie. That's kind of disappointing. And Huawei has gone with the UI which we have seen on a lot of Honor and Huawei smartphones in 2018. It's the EMUI 8.2. So if you look at the system settings, you can see about phone, it's Android 8.1 and EMUI 8.2, and this comes with 4GB RAM and 64GB storage. It's just one variant which is available, and this is powered by the KIRIN 710 octa-core chipset. And looking at the software, you can see there are lots of plethora of modes, including ride mode, simple mode, option to customize the system navigational settings. If you look at the security option, you get app lock via fingerprint. Smart Assistant offers one-handed UI, motion control, and there is support for themes. So it's really customized UI and offers plethora of modes. But we would have definitely liked Android Pie on this device, especially when it is released in 2019. Now moving on to the performance. So the phone comes with the KIRIN 710 octa-core chipset with 4GB RAM and 64GB internal storage. Now the KIRIN 710 is a pretty good and powerful chipset in this price segment. We have seen this on a lot of Honor smartphones, including the Honor 8X, the Honor 10 Lite, and even the Nova 3i came with the KIRIN 710. So KIRIN 710 is definitely powerful and is comparable with the Snapdragon 660 in terms of the performance. And even in day-to-day performance, there's hardly any issues. Extremely responsive performance all around. Now looking at the gaming experience, this is one area where this device was not really great. Even though it was above average, we could still see some frame skips here and there. And EMUI 9.0 would have made a lot of difference because on Honor 10 with the KIRIN 710, it was much better than the Y9 2019 variant. Now other aspects include the fingerprint scanner located on the back panel, which does a quite good job. The speakers are located at the bottom panel, again does a pretty good job. Now the device also comes with dedicated SD card slot, so another good option, along with two SIM cards which have voltage support. Now moving on to the cameras. So the phone comes with a quad camera, quad AI camera. So we have a dual camera setup. On the back panel we have a 13 and 2 megapixel camera with f-stop 1.8 aperture, LED flash, AI camera is included. And on the front panel we have another dual camera setup, 16 plus 2 megapixel dual camera with f-stop 2.0 aperture. So that's the camera of the Huawei Y9 2019 variant. Now moving on to the camera samples taken with the Y9 2019. So you could see that in daylight condition it was quite okay performance, decent details offered. The color reproduction also looks quite okay, but when you turn on the AI mode you could see that the images do get a bit saturated at times. And overall we feel the daylight captures were kind of above average, not definitely the best in class out there, but definitely above average performance. Now close-up images also came out quite well. The low light performance was kind of disappointing for a 16K smartphone. We would have expected Huawei to work on something better with the low light performance. Even though the device comes with the night mode, it was not definitely great performance. Now the selfie experience is definitely good. We could see with the dual camera setup it can produce some pretty good selfies overall, and it is more of a selfie focused smartphone than a rear camera smartphone. Now finally talking about the battery. The device comes with a 4000 mAh capacity battery, which is quite good performance, and you can easily last more than a day with moderate usage. So with 4000 mAh capacity battery, and it would have been even better if it had the EMUI 9.0 or Android 9.0 update, because 9.0 has much better battery optimizations than the 8.1. So even with 8.1 it does a pretty good job, and you can get more than a day, almost like 1.5 days of battery life with normal usage. Now unfortunately this device also does not support any sort of fast charging, and it is just the micro USB charging slot and no USB Type-C offered. So that is a detailed review of the Huawei Y9 2019 variant. So summing up, let's list out the pros and cons. The pros include good design, build quality, even though it's plastic, looks pretty good. The display quality is good. The selfie camera is good, good performance all around, and excellent battery life. Now the cons include the cameras. The rear camera performance was kind of average. Then no Android 9.0 at launch, even though it's launched in 2019. No fast charging, and there is only USB micro USB charging slot offered. So that is a detailed review of the Y9 2019 variant. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. This is Namal signing off. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.